So now we discuss how the social policy governance changed under the 18th Amendment, which was passed in April 2010. There was still attempts by even after the passage of 18th Amendment, old habits die hard. So there was attempts by federal government to retain some of the powers that were devolved by 18th Amendment. So while Ministry of Food was devolved, the Ministry of National Food Security and Research was established at the federal level. Ministry of Health was devolved to the provincial level, but the Ministry of National Health Services and Regulation Coordination was established. Ministry of Housing and Works was again established, although housing was a provincial subject. And there was also a Ministry of Federal Education and Provincial Training, even when education was devolved under the 18th Amendment. So, but even with these ministries, the power was transferred to the provinces. So, provinces had now the constitutional power through the 18th Amendment, and they had the financial power through the 7th NFC award. And they were not ready to accept center's domination again. So they had lots of money, funds available. So they, in 1 year, the total outlay of provincial share increased from around 750 billion to 950 billion. So almost more than 200 billion rupees were extra or additionally transferred to the provinces after the 18th Amendment and 7th NFC award. So provinces were flush with cash, and they improved their infrastructure, hired thousands of teachers and doctors and nurses so that they can improve their education and health, which are their main expenditures at the provincial level. New initiatives were started, and of course, after 18th Amendment, they didn't need to get permission from the federal government. For example, energy projects, provincial revenue authorities were established or strengthened after the 18th Amendment. New organizations such as provincial higher education commissions were formed after the 18th Amendment for the provinces to control their own sphere. The federal development program, which is called the PSDP or Public Sector Development Program, its growth slowed, of course, because there was not much money left. While that of Provincial Development Program, which is called ADP or Annual Development Programs, they increased their expenditure. So more money for social services in provinces. They started new initiatives. They spent more on education and health and housing and social security and other areas. Many new programs were introduced, while federal programs were scrapped. Of course, there was a crunch time after the 18th Amendment at the federal level, because if you take out debt servicing and defense, there was not much money left for the federal government to spend elsewhere.